Hi, I'm Desiree Hadley.
And I'm Crystal Rosa.
And welcome to another episode of Hold the Line with Mayor Baraka. Mayor, how are you?
Good.
Good. So today, Mayor, we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics, and we're going to let you talk about some of the things you want to, discuss today as well. So we're going to talk about the COVID-19 update, Back Together Again, and how it relates to COVID, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, the letter you sent to Washington urging congressional leaders to pass a citizenship for immigrant families, and you're going to talk about what you have on your chest today as well. So first question. So as of Monday, Newark is now at a 3-day rolling average test positivity rate of 3.25% and a 7-day rolling average test positivity rate of 3.78%. As everyone can tell, our COVID numbers have slightly increased since the last episode. So as we ask you on every Hold the Line episode, where do we now stand against this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, nationally, the numbers are going up all over. People are getting worried. I think the governor is going to put out a new mandate soon. We have to. The variant is highly contagious, and unvaccinated communities are becoming a threat to people who are in fact vaccinated, because once you're vaccinated, it doesn't mean you can't get it again. It just means you more than likely won't die or be hospitalized, right? And so we have to make sure that it doesn't spread. People have to get vaccinated. 99.99% of the people that have been hospitalized in New Jersey are people that are not vaccinated. Not vaccinated. And over 90% of the people who have died from COVID-19 are people who are not vaccinated. And, the Latino community is 3 times as more likely to die from COVID-19, and the African-American community is 2 times more likely to die from COVID-19. This is why it's important that we become vaccinated.
So the CDC has reversed its masking guidelines. Yesterday they made that announcement. They're recommending that those who are fully vaccinated against the virus now wear their mask in public indoor settings in parts of the country where there is high or substantial coronavirus transmission. New Jersey has a substantial transmission rate, and this all comes from growing concerns from the Delta variant. So this is a recommendation from the CDC, not a mandate. What are your thoughts on CDC's announcement, and what are your thoughts on reinstating the mask mandate like LA County has done, St. Louis has done? Should we, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should reinstate it. The governor should do it. The city should do it. We're going to wait on the governor. Obviously, we want to work hand in hand with the governor, but we are inclined to do that in Newark very soon. If we don't get any direction and if the numbers keep going up, we're going to reinstate it here. And we're going to advocate that people begin to take these vaccines wherever they go, that are public places.
So the CDC also recommended that students, teachers, staff in grades K through 12 wear their masks in school come this fall. What are your thoughts on that?
That's the right decision to make. If people don't want to get vaccinated, then they have to do the other precautions. You can't have both things. You can't not want to wear the mask and not get vaccinated. You have to do both. You have to do one or the other. Either get vaccinated or wear your mask, socially distance, stay home, do all the other things. You can't have both. You have to be able to do one or the other. And that's right. They're right.
So we're going to move on to COVID-19 and Back Together Again and how the two relate.
Yeah.
So we are celebrating coming back together this summer, and our slogan is Back Together Again. And we are encouraging residents and families to partake in the plethora of community-based events and programs happening citywide. Currently, Newark is at 56% of Newarkers are over the age of 18 are fully vaccinated, and 66% have received at least one vaccine shot.
Yeah.
For those who may be still worried of the health risk, how should people approach coming together safely this summer?
Well, I think you get vaccinated.
Right.
That's my message. Go get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Everybody should go get vaccinated. That's what you should do.
Right.
That way you don't have to worry about any of that. Get yourself vaccinated and wear your mask.
What measures are we taking at these Back Together Again events to ensure that it doesn't spread COVID?
Yep, we're going to encourage people to wear masks, and we're encouraging people to get vaccinated. At all these events, we're going to have our vaccine trucks there to get people vaccinated while they're there. The basketball game at Branchbrook Park, we have the vaccine, with the help of the county, we have the vaccine truck out there getting people vaccinated. We're going to continue to do that because that's what needs to happen until we have to tell people they can't be together again, and that's not what we want to do.
All right. I just want to let everyone know, if you are interested in learning more about the Back Together Again events, visit backtogetheragainNWK.com for more info.
Moving right along to the topic of emergency rental assistance, the city launched the third round of emergency rental assistance to help residents who are struggling to pay rent because of COVID-19. The city will pay rent for approximately 4,000 Newark households who have not been able to pay rent. Tenants and activists in every state have been complaining, saying that it takes too long to receive this rental assistance and that the eviction moratorium will end before they even receive the money, and they'll be out on the street before you know it. What are you going to do, or what are you doing to avoid this from happening in Newark?
Well, we've already paid a bunch of folks, I would say hundreds of people's rent already in Newark. We've done it. So this is our third time doing that. And we're going to continue to do it, and we hired a consultant to make sure that it's faster. So, I'm not concerned about that part of it before, but I know we've paid hundreds of people. This time we're going to pay over 1,000 people's rent. So I'm pretty confident. And we're giving people letters to accompany they in fact got the money. So they don't have to wait for the money to come. If they go to court, they can present a letter that the city of Newark is paying their rent.
So the Emergency Rental Assistance Program is funded through the American Rescue Plan, and it has a budget of $14 million, and it is expected to help about 6,000 residents prevent eviction here in Newark. So, as a lot of us do know, Newark is about 78% renters, which still leaves about 20% of the population who do own a home. What do you say to those who feel like this assistance program is great for renters, but is overlooking the homeowners who may be facing financial hardship due to this pandemic?
But we also have a program that's going to help people pay mortgage as well.
Is that coming soon?
Yep. So the eviction stuff is more prominent for us, more imminent for folks, and so we're taking care of that as quickly as we can. And it's more people that we're talking about as well. But we have one for mortgage. And even for the people who have multifamily homes with renters, they can sign up for this as well, and they get money towards themselves.
So with this one, can people who own their home sign up for this one as well?
Yeah, the landlord had a registration before the tenants, so if they have tenants, they can get that money and get their tenants to sign up for it.
If you have a single family home, can you as well, or not yet?
Not yet, not on this one, not yet.
Moving right along, you, along with more than 80 other mayors from across 28 states, sent a letter to President Biden, Vice President Harris, Majority Leader Schumer, and Speaker Pelosi calling for citizenship for Dreamers, TPS recipients, farm workers, and other essential workers be included in any economic recovery legislation. Why was it important to sign this letter and send it over to the White House urging for citizenship for immigrant families?
Well, I think that, especially now, it's becoming more and more clear that immigrants in this country have added to the economy, have added to the vibrancy of these communities, and that without them, you have a huge hole in the economy. It makes it worse. They send their kids to school, they pay taxes in different ways. They open up businesses, they contribute to the economy, they purchase goods and services, the supermarket, all these other kind of things to help our cities keep going. And it's important, especially folks who've been here for a while, whose families are here. They need a pathway to citizenship so they're not pulled up and snatched up by ICE and deported and all these other things, or have the stress of having to watch their back every single day. As an educator, I've seen kids go through high school and become valedictorians and salutatorians and can't go to college, right? Because they're not citizens. So they did all of that work in high school, and now they're out here trying to find a job or make a living the best way they know how, because there's no pathway to citizenship for them. And if DACA doesn't continue, people they don't have the ability to go to college. They don't have an opportunity to do these things that other people can do. And I think that's wrong, and we need a pathway to citizenship immediately.
How will this positively impact Newark if successful and the residents here?
Oh, a great deal. I mean, it pulls a lot of people out of the shadows, allows people to participate openly in the economy. It gives us more dollars above the table. There's a huge benefit, to the universities, to the economy, to the social and political atmosphere. Because look, the city of Newark is made up of immigrants, That's what it's made up of, always been.
Okay, so I know, Mayor, we have 4 minutes left. I know you wanted to discuss some things you wanted to talk about.
I just wanted to first give shout out Simone Biles, for the courage of her saying she wasn't going to participate in the Olympics, and I know she's getting a lot of backlash, and I needed to say something in support of that. A lot of people want you to be a superhero, but they don't want you to be human, right? There's things that she go through, the press and the media is all over her back. Same way with Naomi Osaka. I think that these ladies need us to have their back. I support them wholeheartedly as they take care of their mental health. It's hard to be in a leadership, especially if you're a woman of color. It's hard, especially if you're a person of color. In leadership, the press treats you differently. Your own people treat you differently. It's a stressful time that we're in even now, and to have them perform for everybody else and not be able to take care of their own mental health is problematic, right? And I can relate to that as I watch mayors across the country, hurt under this stress of the pandemic, and watch the media and journalists, come at black and brown leaders differently than they call other people, right? They scrutinize us for everything, and so I feel for Simone Biles, and I understand all of the folks that are criticizing her. They don't have a right to do that. They don't have a right to do that. She has the right to take care of her own mental health, her own well-being, her own state of mind. Yeah, she's a superhero, but she's not superhuman, right? And I just want to stand up for her and Naomi Osaka as well, who went through the same kind of thing because she told the press, back up, leave me alone. I have some stuff that I need to deal with. I definitely wanted to say that. Next time I would like to, even go further on this social justice stuff around, police reform versus the violence and crime that's happening in our community. And I think that we need to start speaking out about that. It became an issue in the New York race. It's becoming an issue in other cities around America, because as we fight for police reform and social justice, violence and crime is going up in these communities, which is undermining our efforts to fight for police reform. So as we fight for equal justice, we also have to combat the violence in our own communities, the crime that's rising in our own communities at the same time, which puts us between a rock and a hard place if you do not understand that the violence and crime is tied to social justice. And so, at the same time, as we say we don't want the police killing us, we also don't want our own people killing us. 80% of the victims in Newark are black. 80% of the victims in Newark look like me. 80%, right? So we don't want that to happen either. And so in our midst of reforming the police, we can't give a pass to people that are walking around with guns in our community, that are shooting 2-year-olds and 8-year-olds and killing grandmothers on their porch. We can't give a pass to people that are standing on the corner every day hustling drugs and destroying families and disrupting our communities. We can't give those people a pass. You can't say Black Lives Matter, but not in that case, right? Black Lives Matter all around, right? And all of those people should be held accountable and responsible. So we can't march for people who kill people in our community and put them in the same vein as George Floyd, or as all the other people that were killed, strangled, beaten unjustly by police officers. We can't put those people in the same situation as those folks. We can't put everybody in one bag, because when you do that, you undermine the validity of our struggle, right? Because we want safe communities all around. We want safe communities all around. And so we want the shooting to stop, we want the violence to stop, and we want to be treated like human beings and have our constitutional rights upheld by the police and by anybody else with power and authority in our community. And I had to say that because somebody said that we have a statue for George Floyd, but some other issue that we're dealing with up the street that they feel like it's hypocrisy, but it isn't, right? We can't allow people to destroy our neighborhood, our families. Our grandmothers have to go to the store. Our kids have to be raised. They can't be murdered on their porch. This stuff can't happen. And either we're going to have to police our own communities, or we're going to have to make our police strong and uphold our constitutional rights so they can police it correctly.
Absolutely. All right, Mayor, thank you. That's all the time we have for this episode.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching.